Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. We start with a story from the Twin Island Republic. A shooting in Arima on Wednesday night has left a Coast Guardsman injured and a 26-year-old woman dead. Rihanna Mohammed was fatally shot several times about her body by an unknown party while liming with her 37-year-old friend in Arima at about 10 p.m. The 37-year-old man suffered a superficial wound to his neck, having been grazed by a bullet. He suffered no other injuries and was discharged after seeking medical attention. Police said they have no official motive for the killing. However, they were informed by relatives that Mohammed and the Coast Guard officer may have been targeted due to their relationship with one another. Now we tell you that this year will be the deadliest on record for journalists in Mexico, with 18 killed so far, human rights organization Article 19 said in a report on Thursday. Of the 18 deaths, Article 19 had identified a potential link to their work in 9 cases so far, the organization's regional director Leopoldo Maldonado said. I quote, 2022 could be the worst year in the century for the press, end of quote, Maldonado said. In a little over 8 months, the death toll for 2022 has already outpaced the 13 murders recorded last year and the 14 recorded in 2020. Article 19 found the deaths were linked to the victim's profession. In about half of the cases in 2021 and 2020, it said. Meanwhile, the organization has documented a total of 331 attacks against journalists in the first half of the year, most of which involved intimidation and harassment. Some also received threats, while a handful of cases involved the alleged abuse of public power. That marks a 51.83% increase compared to the first half of 2018, when former President Enrique Pena Nieto was in power, it said. In addition, Article 19 said 4 journalists had been forcibly displaced within the country, while 2 went into exile in the first half of the year. Belizeans are furious over the fatal stabbing of an 18-year-old Belmopan man who was attacked while returning home from work. The victim, Leroy Cruz, a graphic designer, was stabbed to death near the Central Walkway in Belmopan City on Wednesday night. It is believed he was also robbed. His killing has created outrage, as Belizeans have described the act as another senseless killing. The mayor of the city of Belmopan councillors and the Belmopan City Council say it is extremely saddened by the loss of life of a young man in its usually peaceful capital. And finally, a 2-year-old toddler bit a snake to death after the reptile bit her lip while she was playing in her family home's garden in Turkey, according to several news reports. The little girl was found with a 20-inch snake's body clasped between her teeth after neighbors reportedly heard her screaming. She was immediately rushed to a hospital where she was treated for her injuries. The girl is recovering well after the August 10 incident. She was reportedly kept under observation for 24 hours. The toddler, now viral on social media, lives in the village of Kantar near Bingöl in Turkey. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, children are more vulnerable and likely to be harmed by venomous snakes, so it is likely that the girl was bitten by a non-venomous one. That was all for tonight's regional news. Thank you for joining. Back to you, Tamika.